Sports. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Denver Broncos. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. They'll have Lamar Jackson calling the shots, the former Heisman Trophy winner from Louisville.
If you just break it down in individual terms, he played really well last week. 0 interceptions, 3 touchdown passes. Not a whole lot more he could have done to win that game. But you know something's funny, when we talked to him, all he focused on were throws he missed, other opportunities that didn't get done.
Good sign of a leader.
Great sign of a leader, because they didn't win, and that's all he cares about.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And there on the tackle, Shaq Lawson. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Avery Williamson. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The numbers for him from a week ago, 12 carries, 110 yards.
And well-liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, Coach, we've got to have better yardage for this guy. He's number 9 in the league. He's got to be in the top 3 before the season's over.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
Ebron caught left side. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. As his guys are in for 6, and the Broncos have taken the early lead. Well, there was a little extra pressure with that one because it was 3rd down. He didn't care. He snagged it with one hand like it was routine.
The key is to make a play in a tough situation. Doesn't matter how, and in this case, one-handed gets it done. Terrific play for us to watch.
And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. The numbers for Bell on the ground in the game last week. 20 carries, 66 yards, and a touchdown. On second down, it's Bell. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll lead here to a third down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Set! 3-19!
Now Jackson to throw on third down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason Barrett, and he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Here's Breida. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. And what they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be. Right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Looking to throw on second down. Webster. It goes as a loss of 6. And now third down.
There we go, D. That's the way to hit.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Operating from the gun. Webster flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not.
Hey, boys, we got 4. 4 down.
On first down, Webster. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 10 more there and another first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
They come up in an offset eye.
Blue 90.
Back to throw. Webster. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. It's the fullback. His second touchdown on the season. And the Broncos will extend their lead. And he wasn't blocking or running it there. They tossed it to it.
And you remember the good old days when the 49ers were riding roughshod in the league? They used their fullback in pass plays all the time. Roger Craig, Tom Rathman, those guys were terrific at running these types of plays.
Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead now stands at 13. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
Some fancy footwork, but not much room to operate. Just up past the 25 and no further. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And this is going to be incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. Back deep is DJ Chark. Fielded just inside the 20. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19! Get that quarterback at all costs!
On 1st and 10, Webster. Ebron with it over the middle. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
One quarter down here on a frigid December night. It's the Broncos with the early lead. Charles and I back to Denver after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
They've got it 2nd and 4 to start things out.
Gun! Single! Watch 13's cross.
Off the play fake. Webster. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
Looking to throw. Webster under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Crash!
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On is the punter King to send it away. This is taken at the 15. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
All right, here we go.
On the counter, here's Bell. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Jackson on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively and then just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now. They've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Taken in at the 22. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Denver getting set to take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. And all the way home for the Broncos score. A big play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
McManus's point after is good, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And Le'Veon Bell making his way back out onto the field now. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while. Then you get a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the 2nd quarter. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Set! Blue 90!
They'll run it now out of the gun. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And the Steelers on 3rd down, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Now let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
From the gun, Jackson. He's got a man. It's Williams. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they've bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still 2nd down.
The false start hurts him there a bit, backs him up to 2nd and 9. Now it's Jackson. And his throw is incomplete. Offensively, might be thinking, what's going on here? 1 for their first 7 throwing the football.
So maybe they're thinking about rethinking their strategy a little bit right now with the way that they're throwing it around, not having that success. Might have to lean on the running game for a little while and see if they can get him back in form.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
To throw on 3rd down, Jackson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's in his zone, 2nd quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
Let's go. Detroit! Detroit! 53!
To throw on 2nd down, Webster finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco 1st down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Escaping the pressure right. And that'll be incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So line of scrimmage, still the 39 on 2nd and 10. They run with Breida. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a 1st down.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Throwing on 1st down. Webster. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Webster. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. They go play action here on 1st down. Deep ball for Goodwin, and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. You got a nice lead. You should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
Now it's Breida. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A Bronco 1st down there, 12 yards on the play. Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
4 down, check, 4 down.
From the gun, Webster. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. This is Breida. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Broncos will extend their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point from McManus is good. And a rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. In 2nd quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people. Lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. Chris Conley, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter. A lot of time to change things. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Here's Jordan Berry now. He's been terrific so far. This is fielded at the 7. And now running right through him. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Clock at 20 seconds to go in the half as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Lucky 56.
Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. Hey.
Now a handoff looking right. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So we're at halftime here in Denver with the Broncos leading this one. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Most players will tell you that night games, while they can be fun, they're really hard to prepare for because you wake up on game day and all you want to do is get to the stadium and let's get going. But you got to bank that fire a little bit and hold it until the evening. It's almost like a Broadway premiere. Got to wait until the nighttime to go out there in front of the bright lights. And boy, has he harnessed himself really well, and now he's unleashing it on the opponents.
To throw on second down. Webster flushed out right. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Set. 3-19.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. Oh, and now he bowls him over. A very solid gain of 27.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Hey, guys, check me out.
On first down, Webster. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 23 yards on the play.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This quarterback now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13.
4 down.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Webster. And it's caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. In for the score. And the Broncos continue to pour it on.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors. But that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. McManus's point after is good. And that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On 2nd down, Jackson. And his throw here's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Taking it about the 16. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Detroit!
And they'll go on the ground. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And boy, the reward was there. A big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
Only a pickup of 2, but that's all they needed for the first.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards, and he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
You got three down.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 1st and 10, Webster shakes off the sack. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Everyone's got 4 down.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Throwing on 1st down, Webster. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And down inside the 15 he goes. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And now running, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Royce Freeman, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Broncos add on. And there he had to break multiple tackles to earn that touchdown. Bottom line, he earned that touchdown.
Indeed he did. That was pretty much a get off of me run and all the way into the end zone.
Extra point from McManus is good, and the lead will swell by one more. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told, and it's capped off by a 13-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Now Bell. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty as a result of that hit there.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Here we go now.
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. And this is incomplete. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 8.
4 down. All right, here we go. Green.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And he can't bring it in. Incomplete. He dropped it on the crossing route. 4th down now. It's been that kind of a day so far throwing the football. It just seems like nothing going right offensively.
Yeah, it's a catch that should have been made, pure and simple. And look, everything else that goes into running a good pass route, throw it all out if you don't catch the ball.
Been that kind of game throwing the football so far. Nothing going right offensively. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco 1st down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
Hey.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead, first down, fourth quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back, but 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Run, and run it. Tight right. Hey, you got 3 down.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. They are pushed back 5 yards by the delay of game, 2nd and 8.
3 down.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
3 down.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Watch that in.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
3rd and 2, and they ran the ball for only 1 yard, and everybody's going to scream at the offense. But let's give a lot of credit to the defense on that play. Defensive front out leveraged the offensive line. They got more people to the football. Yeah, they won that battle in a big way, and they're forcing a big decision now by the guys on offense.
McManus able to put it through, and that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Steelers set to take the field. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know. Are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room, get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coaches say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do something.
On the line.
Exactly. You have pride on the line, execution as you look forward and get ready for your next game, and a message to your team. We're not going to quit. No matter what the battle is, we're going to finish this thing out.
Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. No, he doesn't have it. Maybe some alligator arms there going over the middle. Third down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
Let's go. Blue, line it.
Jackson from the shotgun. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Now, that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
And it's taken in at the 9. So possession goes over here on the punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the